beautiful friends. Welcome back to 365 Days of Love and Miracles with A Course in Miracles. My name is Arlene Geres, and I am so glad that you are here. Please remember to listen right until the very end, because we have a special treat for you. And if you enjoyed today's video, please click like and subscribe down below, because this helps others to find us on YouTube. Today's lesson is lesson number 265. This is our fifth lesson under the section, What is the Body? We are asked to read this section before we read today's lesson, so let's do that now. The body is a fence the Son of God imagines he has built to separate parts of his self from other parts. It is within this fence he thinks he lives, to die as it decays and crumbles. For within this fence he thinks that he is safe from love. Identifying with his safety, he regards himself as what his safety is. How else could he be certain he remains within the body, keeping love outside? The body will not stay, yet this he sees as double safety. For the Son of God's impermanence is proof his fences work and do the task his mind assigns to them. For if his oneness still remained untouched, who could attack and who could be attacked? Who could be victor? Who could be his prey? Who could be victim? Who the murderer? And if he did not die, what proof is there that God's eternal Son can be destroyed? The body is a dream. Like other dreams, it sometimes seems to picture happiness, but can quite suddenly revert to fear, where every dream is born. For only love creates in truth, and truth can never fear. Made to be fearful, must the body serve the purpose given it. But we can change the purpose that the body will obey by changing what we think it is for. The body is the means by which God's Son returns to sanity. Though it was made to fence him into hell without escape, yet has the goal of heaven been exchanged for the pursuit of hell. The Son of God extends his hand to reach his brother and to help him walk along the road with him. Now is the body holy. Now it serves to heal the mind that it was made to kill. You will identify with what you think will make you safe. Whatever it may be, you will believe that it is one with you. Your safety lies in truth and not in lies. Love is your safety. Fear does not exist. Identify with love and you are safe. Identify with love and you are home. Identify with love and find yourself. Let's talk about paragraph 4. The body is the means by which God's Son returns to sanity. Exactly how does this happen? Let's remember that our walk on this earth is meant for our maximum soul growth, and the only way that we can have this soul growth is to rub up against all different experiences. Every single experience that we have ever been through is meant for our maximum soul growth. The body is the means by which God's child, God's son, God's daughter returns to sanity. Only by going through these experiences and discovering that the thinking of the ego does not work for us. Most of us thought that getting the right education, the right job, the right partner, the right family, the right house, the right car, we thought that those things were going to bring us happiness, and many of them did for a short period of time, but all things of the ego eventually pass away. When we discover this for ourselves, we recognize that we need something much more, something much bigger, and that's usually when most of us turn to God. Though the body was made to fence us into hell without escape, yet has the goal of heaven been exchanged for the pursuit of hell. Hell is thinking with the mind of the ego. Heaven is thinking with the mind of God. The experiences of our bodies bring us to accepting that the ways of the ego do not work, and thus we are able to escape from hell and turn toward the goal of heaven. Once we discover this, we are asked to reach our hand out to our brothers and our sisters and to show them the escape from hell and the path that leads to heaven. When we do this, now our body is made holy. Now our body serves to heal the mind that it was made to kill. Now our body is serving God's purposes instead of the ego's purposes. Let's read lesson 265. Creation's gentleness is all I see. Do you see the world through God's eyes of love? Do you only see creation's gentleness? I have to be honest with you, my friends. I am struggling with this today. There has been an endless series of distractions, and thus I have to continually pray to come back. Oh dear, to come back to God, to seeing that every single thing that is happening is meant to happen, and choose to see all of these distractions through God's eyes of love. But it takes determination, it takes discipline, it takes willingness not to slip into resentment, not into thinking that the gardener should go make noise on the other side, that the people that have just come to do renovations in the unit right beside me should do it tomorrow, that the children that are playing should go back in their houses so that I can do my video. That is thinking with the mind of the ego. That is not seeing creation's gentleness at all. I need these lessons as much as anyone else. I need to be reminded over and over and over again to only see creation's gentleness. And sometimes I need more help than others. Let's read today's lesson. I have indeed misunderstood the world because I laid my sins on it and saw them looking back at me. How fierce they seemed, and how deceived was I to think that what I feared was in the world instead of in my mind alone. Today I see the world in the celestial gentleness with which creation shines. There is no fear in it. Let no appearance of my sins obscure the light of heaven shining on the world. What is reflected there is in God's mind. The images I see reflect my thoughts, yet is my mind at one with God's, and so I can perceive creation's gentleness. Let's talk about it. Oh my goodness, this message is balm for my soul, my friends. I hope you heard the amazing message of love that is behind these words. I have indeed misunderstood the world because I laid my sins on it and saw them looking back at me. This takes us back to those very beginning lessons where we read that this table is not real, this chair is not real. Whenever I am looking at the world through the eyes of the ego, I always project what is going on inside of me out onto the world. And thus, when I look with eyes of fear, I am going to see fear looking back at me. On the other hand, when I look through eyes of love, I will always see love looking back at me. I had to do that this morning. I had to keep on asking God to help me to see what was going on around me through His eyes of love. How deceived was I to think that what I feared was in the world instead of in my mind alone. Whenever we're upset for any reason at all, let us always remember that the upset is in our mind. It is not out there in the world. The problem is never the person, place, thing, or situation. The problem is always in me and my thinking. When I become aware of that, I can change my thinking. I can move out of fear and into love, and thus what I am seeing will change. Today, I see the world in the celestial gentleness with which creation shines. Oh, how I wish that that was always my first thought. It is becoming stronger. Let us always remember that the ego speaks first and the ego speaks loudest. We want to be very conscious of our thinking. We want to choose to see the world in the celestial gentleness with which creation shines. So beautifully said. Let no appearance of my sins obscure the light of heaven shining on the world. Let us always remember that the images I see reflect my thoughts. Yet when we bring our mind back to God, then we will perceive creation's gentleness. If you would like to close your eyes, I'll read today's prayer, then we'll talk about it and read it one more time at the end of today's lesson. In quiet would I look upon the world, which but reflects your thoughts, and mine as well. Let me remember that they are the same, and I will see creation's gentleness. Let's talk about it. This is our reminder to be disciplined in our meditation so that we are truly looking on the world with a quiet energy that we bring back from that calm, still place that we are able to access when we do our regular meditation. Let us always remember that we can access the thoughts of God, and we can bring these thoughts with us as we look upon the world, and when we do that, we will see creation's gentleness. For our practice periods today, we want to read or listen to today's lesson, and then we simply sink into our meditation as we say to ourselves, creation's gentleness is all I see. We go deeper and deeper past the thoughts, the worries, and the problems of this world. We ask God to help us to always see through His eyes of love, to only be able to see creation's gentleness. For our shorter practice periods, on the hour, often in between, and especially when we're upset for any reason at all, we simply state today's idea, creation's gentleness is all I see, and then we stop for a minute or two and allow this idea to sink deep into our beings. We ask God's help to only see through His eyes of love and to only see creation's gentleness. If you would like to close your eyes, I'll read today's prayer one more time to finish today's lesson. In quiet would I look upon the world, which but reflects your thoughts, and mine as well. Let me remember that they are the same, and I will see creation's gentleness. Amen. Amen. Thanks so much for listening right until the end, my friends. If you enjoyed today's video, please share the love. Tell someone about these videos. Encourage them to start at lesson 1 and only do 1 lesson a day. Are you ready for our special treat? Hello. Good morning. Such a pretty bird. Yes, you are. You're glorious. You're so beautiful. I love you. I love you. Yes, I do. Thanks for coming to visit me every day. The hummingbirds are waiting, buzzing away in the background. Yes, you're just hogging it all for yourself, aren't you? Creation's gentleness is all I see. May you only see creation's gentleness today, my friends. I love you.